So you got your eye on that StormWeaver set. That sexy, sexy biker look does it for you, huh? Is it the 20% roll speed reduction or that fancy explosion when you got enemies around you? Well, either way it go, I'm gonna let you know my thoughts on it. And if you got the StormWeaver set, drop your comments in below and let me know what you think about it.
What up, gang? Shout out to all my thug nerds, geeks, and freaks. Get to this StormWeaver set. So I've been promising y'all this PvP build, and I promise I've been trying to work on it, but this Prism versus Clash scenario is just really hard to play. Really hard to play. So it's been really hard for me to just get into it, but let's get into it. So, StormWeaver set. Now, I'm running this with a combination of the outer space and the corrosive shotgun, and I'm just trying out some things here along with the painted mask just to have some fun with the EMP after death. And I'm running this with 2 pieces of shelter. Okay, so the StormWeaver set it gives you the one piece gives you rolling stamina cost at negative 20%, 2-piece magazine capacity bonus at 15%, and the 3-piece taking damage grants a stack of powered armor. Damage reduction plus 4% for 10 seconds. Effect can stack up to 6 times. That means you can get a total of 24% of this powered armor. And we're going to go into some of the downfalls of this gear set, why it's not really worth buying. It's almost like having a purple set, to be honest with you. And then the 4-piece is rolling, consumes 3 stacks of powered armor and triggers an explosion that knocks back surrounding enemies. For each enemy hit, you gain plus 5% HP up to 20%, and then the cooldown on that is 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds you can roll and it will consume 3 stacks of powered armor. Let's get into the first problem with this particular build. The 1-piece is useless without the 4-piece, right? So if you're not wearing all 4 pieces of this, having negative 20% rolling stamina cost doesn't really do you any justice, right? And so if you look at the blueprints overall, right? So if you take a look at your overall blueprints, what you'll notice about these sets is that each set is specific in something and they all stack, right? So you look at this lone wolf, you see the number 1 piece gives you mag capacity 10%, then crit rate, right? Then it directly leads into crit damage, right? Which you benefit from crit rate. The higher you crit, the more often you crit, the higher damage you should get when you crit. And then it increases those crits from 8 to 10 stacks, right? And then increase the crit rate 8% for 2 seconds after you reload. So you see how everything synergizes together. You get more ammo, you get more crit rate. The more often you crit, the more damage you're going to do, and then the 4-piece gives you more damage. So it allows you to crit up to 60%, which is ridiculous, right? So if you look at the Renegade set, it gives you reload speed and weapon damage, weak spot damage, and then you get more weak spot damage for Archer's Focus, right? And then it gives you, when reloading, for every 1% of the weak spot hit from the previous, it gives you extra magazines, right? So you get extra bullets up to 30%. So everything synergizes. This is a set for crit, this is a set for weak spot, this is a set for elemental and status damage. This set is like a tank, right? Because it's giving you armor for taking damage. So it's incentivizing you to take damage, but doesn't give you anything damage-wise to work with it, right? So this set is really flawed in my opinion, just overall in itself. And then it's also on the 2-piece. So the 1-piece is useless. Nobody's ever going to choose 1 piece of this, right? Where the 1 piece on everything else grants you a useful stat, the 1 piece on this, nobody's ever going to use 1 piece of rolling stamina, which makes the 1 piece useless without the 4-piece, and I've never seen that in any other set. In any other set, you never see where the 1-piece, look, the 1-piece mag capacity, 1-piece status damage, and this is a status build, so status damage reduction goes right into this. The 1-piece rolling stamina cost, boo hoo, nobody needs that. The 1-piece when HP above 70 weapon damage, so you get extra damage. The 1-piece is reload speed. The 1-piece is medical cooldown. So the 1-piece is beneficial in every gear set except the StormWeaver. So that's the first reason why this set is trash. The second one is you get magazine capacity bonus on the 2-piece, but that's ultimately just 5% more than the magazine capacity you would get from the Lone Wolf 1-piece. So not really. And then you have to take the rolling stamina. I would just rather go with the 1-piece of Lone Wolf rather than have to be forced to take 2 pieces of this and 1-piece be rolling stamina cost. Then you get to the powered armor, it only gives you 24% for 10 seconds. That is nowhere near the buff every other damage buff gives you. No, you get 48% with the 3-piece Lone Wolf and crit damage. You get 60% with the 4-piece. You get 40% weak spot damage with 3 pieces of Renegade. That's ridiculous. Like this doesn't, 24% is not enough. And you can't see the 24%. That's another thing. The 24% should be shown to you in bonus armor. So like you should have a bar above your health bar or a bar that extends your health bar to show that bonus armor. Because like you don't get to see it until you get hit. So yeah, it's and with this set you would think I would be almost invincible, right? Because on my chest I'm running resist advantage. So when you're out of combat, you gain 10% damage reduction every 5 seconds. So you gain 1 stack. 1 stack is equal to 10%. So you can gain it up to 5 times. So 5 stacks is 50% damage reduction, right? So on here, I already have 50% damage reduction. So by taking damage, I should get another 24%. But how do I and where do I see that 24%? It's hard to see that in the fight. So what they should do is that powered armor should be in the form of bonus armor. Then it would make sense, and then you would be able to see it on your character, and it would really make sense. And then what they should do is they should take that 1-piece, they should remove the rolling stamina cost 20%, and what they should give you is, if they gave you 50% fire rate, 15% fire rate, or even 10% fire rate, that would directly correlate to DPS, right? Because fire rate boosts DPS. Because you're giving up any DPS because you're basically going to be trying to be a tank with this build, right? You're going to be wanting to stack damage reduction as much as you can so that you can take as much damage as you can to keep the damage, I guess, away from the team, or just, I guess, to keep damage to survive, right? The longer you stay on your 2 feet, the more damage you can do. You can't do damage when you're dead, right? So you will want to stack the damage. So what I would suggest that they could do, if they would ever think about changing this, because this is a really bad, it's a really poor set. What I would do is I would give 15% fire rate at the first one. I would remove the magazine capacity, because magazine capacity gives you sustained damage. It doesn't give you DPS. It just gives you more damage because you got more ammo. But where fire rate, increases the DPS, because the more bullets you can put into the enemy, the faster you could put them in, the more damage. The faster you could do damage, the higher your damage per second, essentially, right? So the first one would be fire rate. And that second one, maybe I would give you increased stamina, something like that. Maybe 5% stamina boost or something like that. And then I would take that powered armor and I would boost that to give you 5% for 10 seconds and stacks up to 10 times or something, so that you can take that much damage. And then you can still have the rolling consumes 3 stacks of powered armor, because 3 stacks is a lot of power armor to consume just for an explosion. But instead of the explosion giving you HP, you should let the explosion scale by how many enemies are around, because the explosion is rather weak, to be honest. So it should scale based on how many enemies are around, and in the text, it should tell you that the explosion is based on the PSI intensity, so that you know what the explosion damage is based on. Even though you should already know, it should tell you that the explosion damage is based on the PSI. And then instead of HP plus 5% for each enemy around, which, I mean, I guess you could do HP plus 5% for enemy around, because it is a semi-tankish build. So I guess you would want to replenish HP. So I guess you can keep the HP. But yeah, I would definitely remove magazine capacity, and I would definitely remove the rolling stamina cost. Those two aren't worth it. Not in the overall. They're pretty weak. This build is pretty weak, so I can't even really show it off. And I don't even have a dummy. I haven't even made a dummy to test my damage. So this build is pretty weak. It's nothing to show off. It's nothing fancy. I can barely get any PvP going on this thing. We are like mollywopping these guys. It's not even cool. Like, we're completely finished in phase 2, right? And phase 2 still has time left. I mean, we're completely done. Like, I've claimed all the rewards. Every reward has been claimed. So we're completely done. Look at these guys. This guy's 520 prism energy. Ridiculous. I haven't even collected one, and my team is done. Look, mine is 0. I'm like unranked. I haven't even found one. The normal deviations is 43 just out there in the wild, because nobody's even playing anymore. This is so sad. Ridiculous. This was like the worst scenario ever to play. I haven't even done any of my season goals. Everything just, I just can't even find the drive. I think too also it's because they promised us this gear, that if we completed it, we could win this. But basically, when you read it, what it is at the end, you get these crates, and these crates give you a chance to win either one of these 2 boxes. So you could win these, and these give you just the same full. Like, I've been playing this for 3 seasons, and I still haven't won this freaking jacket right here. I still haven't won that jacket. I'm dying to get that fucking jacket. I got the pants, and I still haven't gotten this shit right here either. So yeah. And then you're not even guaranteed to get these, and then you can still get duplicates. You can still get, why am I getting duplicates of this shit? I mean, don't get me started. I hate to bitch and moan, but like, a lot of us played this season just to get this outfit, only to find out that you aren't even guaranteed to get this outfit. You're just gonna get crates that allow you a chance to win a crate, that you might win a fucking crate. Oh, don't get me going. Why does everything have to be a loot crate? I get it. Some stuff is loot crate worthyable, but y'all made us join this season, this crappy season, this boring season, and not even giving us what we're supposed to get. Don't even get me started. I'm gonna hold my composure. But yeah, so that's the set I've been working on. That's the kind of the build I've been working on. You guys have any ideas for it? Drop them down in the comments. Let me know. I'm always listening. I'm always chatting back. I take on all the suggestions. But yeah, this is gonna be my corrosive shotgun build. I just haven't had a chance to test it out. I haven't had a chance to really play. It's really been just like whatever. I'll let you guys look at the stats right here. Mind you, this is only tier 3. So, or tier 4. So I crafted, oh no, tier 3. So a lot of this stuff is just tier 3. I crafted this stuff at tier 3. All right, and then I haven't. So when I bring the first table out, what I do is I craft to the highest level that I can, which is normally tier 3, and then I craft again at tier 5. And then those are the only 2 times I craft, and then I usually just calibrate everything that's tier 5 plus 6. So I don't craft level 1 gear. I don't craft level 4, 2 gear or level 4. I only craft levels 3 and 5. and that's it. And that's just how I roll. And I don't know, it works for me. So here we go though. For the mask, I'm rocking the Deviation Expert. And like I said, this is just trial and error for me. I'm rocking everything with talent suffix. This is gonna be Thunderclap, Power Surge on the mask, resist advantage, talents on the chest, and I'm running that for just to try to make this as much of a tank as possible to take as much DPS and damage from other players as I could. So I tried to put HP or damage reduction on all of the mods. So if you look at all of my mods, I try to get like some sort of HP bonus or weapon damage reduction. So you see I got weapon damage reduction and HP on this one. On the pants, I got weapon damage reduction 4.8%. You look at the gloves, we got weapon damage reduction 3. Even though it's not unlocked, you know, that's what I'm going for with these specific mods. On the pants, I'm using Deadshot talents. For my gloves, I'm using Elemental Overload talents, obviously, with weapon damage reduction. On the shoes, I'm using Covered Advanced talents. I got status damage reduction on these. So yeah, I just try to get some sort of weapon damage reduction on this so that here at the bottom, you look, I got 20% status damage reduction, 10% torso damage reduction, another 6% weapon damage reduction, and then I have 50% overall damage reduction because of the chest piece. And then once I start taking damage, the StormWeaver should give me the powered armor, which should give me 4% damage reduction for 10 seconds, and the effect can stack up to 6 times. So the one thing I don't know about this, because I haven't really been able to test it, is if I get shot 6 times in a row, is that max powered armor for 10 seconds. And then what happens after I get shot again? And then how does this damage reduction work? Like, does this drop down? And how often does it drop down? I think damage reduction should be shown in the form of bonus armor all around, right? Because it's too hard to see. Like, you see, I got 5 stacks of the damage reduction right now. It's too hard to look at that when I'm in combat to tell if it's there or how fast it's going down, whatever the case may be. If I had an extra bar on my health bar that told me if I had bonus armor, then that would be a good way to mark out damage reduction. But yeah, that's where I'm at for this build so far. I don't even know if I'm gonna complete it. This might end up being a PvE build that I end up showing off during Way of Winter, because I promise y'all this season is just so boring, and I'm trying. I really am trying, but I just can't, like, I just can't be bothered. I just can't. But yeah, that's the build, man. And the overall is just gonna be the painted mask. And I would normally have the goggles here, the Mayfly goggles here. I'm just running this painted mask because I just wanted to see what the AoE damage would do to other players when I defeated, you know. So if I defeated the player that I was shooting and I get that power surge, that EMP, I just wanted to see what that did to other players, but I haven't even really got a chance to check it out, and it sucks. But yeah, painted mask, shelter gloves to increase the elemental damage, and then give me status damage reduction because everything is about damage reduction and just taking less damage from players. StormWeaver boots, StormWeaver pants, and then the StormWeaver top. So yeah, that's the build. The stun baton, everything is just electric over here. I'm keeping everything electric. We're going all the way in. But yeah, if I get this build put together, I will, like I said, make another video. If not, I will catch y'all in the next one. And I am looking forward to the Way of Winter and to get out of this crappy thing right here. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one.